click Go to Parent button, and in the refraction here, click the None button, and double click the bitmap, and go to the Maps folder in the 3D Max 8. Click the Skies folder, choose the Dusk Cloud, click Open, and click Go to Parent. Change the refraction value to 50. Let us render the scene now. There's something strange here. We don't see this edge in nature. In nature, the sea becomes more transparent as we come closer to the shore. So we have to fix this in the material. Close the rendered window. As long as we are talking about transparency, so we are going to deal with the opacity channel in a moment. But first we have to add a UVW map modifier to the SeaSurface object. So make sure that you are selecting it and go to the Modify panel, expand the modifier list, and add a UVW map modifier. Let's go back to the material editor, and in the opacity channel, click the None button, and double click the gradient ramp. Click the Show Map in Viewport so that you can see it in the viewport. Click here to add a flag. Double click to open the color selector window and change the color of the flag to black. Actually, black means that it is completely transparent. Drag this flag and change it to white. White means complete opaque. The gray area means that it is a semi-transparent. Close the color selector window. Let's render. Apparently it didn't work. This is because our material has reflection and refraction maps and has shyness. That's why it didn't work as we expected. We have to think of another way to get over it. So close the rendered image. Go to Parent. We are going to use this map later. Drag it to any free slot. OK. And then return back to our deep sea material. Drag the None button to the opacity channel because we are not going to use any map in the opacity channel. OK, go to a free slot and name it Shore Transparent. And right-click on the spinners here to change the opacity to 0. Now, this material is completely transparent, and this will be the material of the sea surface on the shore. Go to the next free slot and click the Standard button, double-click the blend material, and click the Discard All Material Radio button and click OK. And then drag the Shore Trans to the Material 1 and keep the Instance Radio button, click OK, and drag the Deep Sea in the Material 2 and leave the Instance button, click OK. And now rename this material to the Sea Surface material. OK, now we need to add a map here that's gonna control the relationship between the shore transparent and the deep sea, and already we have the map here, so all we have to do is just drag it to the None button next to Mask. Leave the Instance button on. We have to assign this sea surface material to the sea surface object, so make sure that you are selecting the sea surface object and click the Assign button. Let's render the scene. You see now the edge has been gone and it's really getting nicer. Close the rendered scene. Of course you can go to the gradient ramp and change the relation between the shallow part and the deep sea. Re-render. Okay. close the rendered window, close the material editor, click the file menu and save as. Click the positive sign here to save the file as location02.max. Okay, now we need to add some rocks, so click the create geometry, click the box button, and in the top view just click and drag to create a box whose dimensions equals to 12 in length, 12 in width, 12 in height, and we are going to change the segments to 8, length seg and width seg 8 and height segments 8. Go to the modify panel. We are going to apply a noise modifier. So expand the modifier list. Press the N on your keyboard to reach the noise modifier. Click enter. Click the fractal. Change the strength value to 50, 50 and 80. Okay. Now we need to add material here, so click the material editor and go to a free slot and rename it rocks. Okay, click the button next to diffuse. Actually, this is a shortcut to the diffuse map. Double click the bitmap. Go to the ground folder in the maps folder in 3D Max 8 and choose ground dirt 2. Click open. Go to parent and assign material rocks to the box 01. Okay, close the material editor and rename the box rock 01. Okay. You can move the rock, rotate it. Right click the camera view to activate it and click the render button in the toolbar. Okay, I think it looks nice. Close the rendered window. We can add another rock by cloning, so click the selected move tool and press the shift key on your keyboard. In the top view, just move. Okay, leave the copy ready button on and click OK. Of course, we have to change the seed because there are no identical rocks like that. So, okay, change the seeds to 7. You can try different seeds. You can try to change the roughness, try to change the strength. You will get different results. Okay, click the render button to render the camera view. Okay, close the rendered window and click File and Save to save the file. In this tutorial, we learned how to create SeaSurface by adding different maps in different channels in a material. We also learned how to animate the waves of the sea by animating the noise in a bump channel. We also learned how to preview the animation of a material. We learned how to blend two different materials by using the blend material, as we did when we blend the transparent shore material and the deep sea material. And finally, we learned how to use the noise modifier to create irregular objects. You can use noise modifier to create irregular landscapes quickly and easily. As you see here, this is a plain object, and we added the noise modifier. That's how we got this irregular landscape. But actually, by using this method, it would be very difficult to go through details of controlling the contour and specifying the exact places of lower and higher areas, as we did when we used displacement maps.